Okay, hello. Can everybody hear me? Test, test. Thank you for your information. So now we have to wait a little bit. And don't mind the blood on the table, it's from my fallen enemies. Mhm. Yeah. Should probably work. Unfortunately, I had to mount the camera on the working table, so it will shake a bit. Wow, 3 viewers. That doesn't matter. Yeah, sure, Matt. But this is my way because some people use resin, for example, like Lightyear. I also tried this method, but I wasn't amused because to handle chems, it's really when you try to apply it, it's so liquid, so it pours everywhere, but you don't have a good thickness of the resin layer. Uh, that's the reason why I use uh, spray filler, car body putty, and spot putty. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. It's a total mess. And you have to handle cams, and as you know, I'm a lab scientist, and I don't want to work with cams also when at home, and try to minimize the risk. I don't know exactly why the picture of the camera is sometimes that bad, but maybe I shouldn't have bought the cheapest one. There are also other rotary tools, and I like the Proxon version of this tool because it's much smaller and it fits better into your hand. This thing is just massive, and you can't. Fine work. It's really hard with this kind of tool. Yeah, this engraving thing. Yeah, that's really good. And the Proxon machine has the same size, and it's like the same one. Just for the art. let's try to move my monitor so I can see what I'm doing. No, it's not a selfie. I ordered them from an Etsy shop, and as you know, might have seen, I'm a Doom nerd, and I needed those stickers, so I bought them. More precise, I have had to buy them. That was. So we got a little bit time, and then I will show you probably how big the rails of the BFG are. Those are the side rails. They're just immense. Yeah. And after this workshop, I can finally send the parts, because I spared this part just to show you guys how to remove complex support structures and to smoothen them afterwards. Exactly, Asta, 9 p.m. Okay, I think we're ready. Thank you guys for your interest. Today I want to show you how I remove support structures and using some tools for it. First thing, I will show you the tools and give some comments on it. Also, some you know me as a safety guy. Safety guy who is always who needs always something to show you, like these to wear gloves and use your personal your PPE and stuff. Okay, let's start to introduce you my tools. First tool I want to show you is the Dremel tool. This is a rotary tool, and there are some milling heads I use, and these are the heads which I use to remove the first layers underneath, above the support structure. They're looking really odd because they don't have a flat surface, so you need to remove them. And these are my favorite tools. But these tools are really, you need a steady hand, and you should, but I will show you what happens when you don't use them in a good way. The next thing I will introduce you to remove support structures or flatten out is something, maybe your print is curved or something like that. And this is what I have for these are wood carving tools. As you can see, they have different shapes and forms, so you can always reach your the structure even with this small tool to remove some layers or try to get rid of some leftovers from the support structures, and you can always sharpen them. Okay, maybe you start questioning after the stream, because then otherwise I get really confused. So please write it down and please ask me afterwards. So because I need to translate it in my brain, and then I will totally get confused. Okay, these were the carving tools I use. And also, I use just a simple brush to remove some dust from the surfaces, because when you blow on them, you probably get the particles into your eyes, and that's not good, even if you wear safety glasses. And this is probably the most dangerous tool I have. This is a scalpel. You can change the blades, and when they are worn out. And this is really you have to take care when you don't feel good, or you say I had a bad day. Don't use rotary tools or neither the carving tools. Just step back and make it on. Take your time, and probably you do it on another day. Also for the to apply filler, as I said, I use cardboard filler, and spray filler. For the car body filler, I have some spatulas in different shapes and forms, because sometimes it's really hard to reach these points where you probably welded the things together. I use activator spray and super glue on the prints because it's much faster, and I don't like to, it's my personal taste, I don't like to weld. And as you can see, they're really flexible, so you can also apply it really in a thin, you can apply it with thin layers, so you don't have to sand all down. Okay, now where are my safety goggles? Hello? This is just to show you, this is not an accident I have had. I just want to show you what could happen when a rotary tool is broken, or you have to think about this thing spins with 20,000 rounds per minute. And when for example, such a tool is broken or worn out, and some pieces will break out of this disc, please use safety goggles, because otherwise it could look like this. I just prepared, as I said, I just prepared these safety goggles. But you only have 2 eyes, and it's kind of impressive. But I have seen some pictures in the net. They were quite hard to take. But please, when you use rotary tools, use safety goggles or glasses. I don't know the right explanation. Also, what you have to in my opinion, is a really obligatory thing, is how they are called, gloves against they have cut protection. These are level 5 cut protection gloves, and they are not made for, please don't step when your hands are on. With these pointy tips, you can always destroy the cloth or the layers. These layers are Kevlar, and number 5 is the highest class possible to protect you from these kind of sharp blades. But they are not meant to use it like a glove and see what happens when you when you use it on your own hand. But you can see this is a new one, and it happens nothing. And this is a new scalpel blade. These hand shoes are not made for it's just to protect you from some cuts when you slip away or something like that. But please also wear these gloves when using carving tools or rotary tools, because as you can see, I stabbed myself several times. And this was just a sanding block. But when I sand, I don't use gloves because I need to feel the surface. Okay. Now, this is a perfect example for a print to try to remove these layer lines. Before that, I use my gloves. So what I read every time, how do I remove my support structures? Well, there are some tools I use for. These are, I don't even know what the name it is in English. Seitenschneider. Pliers and some smaller things. Also, I use the scalpel and the carving tools. So basically, what you're going to do is try to get in between the support structure and the print. Oh. And now I use the pliers, trying to remove as much as I can. And as you can see, some support structures are on this on the surface from the print, and now I try to use the scalpel blade, and as you can see, you can cut through the support structures and try to remove them. You can also use pliers. I need a new one. Wait a sec. And slowly and constantly you get the print, the support structure off, as you can see. But don't bend the blades on the print. These blades are not made for to bend, because when you bend these blades, they can break, and that's not good for it. So okay. Now that we are here, there is here is some more structure to be removed, but I will spare this one. It's just to show you how to get rid of it. As I mentioned, you can use pliers or some wrenches and use it as a lever to remove big parts of the support structure. So when it comes to clean them, you can sand them, sure, but if you use too much friction on the print will become hot, or will get hot. I don't know the right explanation. It will get hot, and probably you melt the surface, and it gets rougher than before. That's the reason why I use Dremel tools or rotary tools. when using these tools for the first time, always turn the rounds per minute lever to the minimum. Make sure it is it's off, but you probably would hear that. Then fix it, and then you try it on a low speed. I forgot. And now you can have a look if the tool is straight and not bent. Probably it would turn not that good. I probably use up to 15K as rounds per minute to grind it. But I will show you now what could happen. You need to move your hand constantly when using these tools. When you like a flowing movement, when you grind something. What happens when you stop and you don't have a flowing movement? And now you see there is a bend or a groove, I don't know, groove on it. If you never used a Dremel tool before, I would recommend to use support structures and learn this flowing movement. Okay. Really hard to see. Okay. What I do is to move it gentle until it's smooth. So I removed all the layer parts, and this is basically good for applying some spray filler or something like that. And for these small particles here, I use my carving tools. Oops. Throw it away and get rid of it by scraping it over. Now, my love tool is the scalpel. Unfortunately, the dangerous tool of that, and I gently scrape the layers down. Until I think it's okay. And you may have seen that I try to avoid to have my fingers in the direction where I cut. Unfortunately, you can't cut away from it because you don't have that good pressure and feeling, so you have to cut it to your body. Well, that's not the best thing, I know, but as I said, I try to have nothing in the way of the blade, and when I use when I need to support the print, I use my thumb so the scalpel won't hit it. So now we basically have removed the structure, and then you have to go over and over again I will. As you can see, you can see that, and now you get gently remove layer after layer, and then you can fill it. Most of you guys use wood filler. I would recommend to water thin it so it has the right consistency to apply it, not this dry one when you rub it onto the surface. That's I don't like the consistency of that. So okay, this is just the base sanding. Just to show you guys how I remove most of the structures when working on edges, like here. Like here, there are some structures as well. I used to remove them by using the blade, and I try not to damage the edge of the surface because it will get round and dull and doesn't have the right dimension and doesn't look that good. And also you can use your rotary tool. And as you might have seen, I always wait until the rotary tool is really off, because it needs a little bit of time to fully stop. And when you have a rotating disc on it, it will ride over your desk, and that's not that good. So now you can see that I smoothened out the layer. It's ready for some base filler. Like I mentioned, I use spray putty on that. Oops. These are common fillers I use. Presto is unfortunately a German brand, but I ordered just for this Stream Duplicolor filler. It's basically the same. You apply it on, you shake the bottle, and it's like a fluid, and you can apply it on the surface. So when I will drill something to show you how to use spot putty in general. Ah, that's good. Now you have seen the rotary tool was loose, so you have to stop it, but don't panic. It will not happen something to your thing because you're wearing tools, you're wearing protection gloves, you're wearing safety glasses. That's okay. So I drilled something into the surface to show you how I use putty on that. First of all, I use, this is a PTFE gasket because it's really easy to clean. You can also use something else. But when you bend when it's dry and you bend these PTFE gasket, the filler will come loose, and you have always a really nice clean and surface. So it comes in all shapes and sizes, and as I said, I use a really big one. First of all, I also read about. It was probably the mixture wasn't that good. Normally, I would put on my gas mask, but unfortunately, you won't understand me. This just a car body putty. They are used on. You can use it on car bodies to smooth something out. And this is the hardener. As you see, when you are not sure the mixture, it's roundabout. It's always written somewhere here or on the hardener itself. But when not sure, use scale to have the right measurement. I worked so much with some putty that I don't use it anymore. What you basically do is you stir it a bit to have a nice consistency, and then where was my part? That's not so much. And it's better to mix a low amount and have nothing over than just literally use half of the box, and it will get hard, and then you don't and you wasted material because it's not that. It's in this is quite expensive in these bigger parts, and I don't want to waste anything. I like to minimize the amount of dirt, rubbish, and things that I left over. So here is the putty. And what I do is I don't put it on top. I just mix it right beside. Then you can see how much you can use. This is enough, and you can when and it doesn't react. So when you mix it, you have to mix it really good. You will get a light pink color, then it's ready to go. So now I'm searching at my for my spatula. Over there. So what you usually do is to mix it from one side to the other, scrape it a bit. All these spatulas are, for example, painter acrylic spatulas. They come in all sizes and shapes. When you, for example, have a really, really thin area, there are so much shapes, you can't believe it. And you can reach every point on your print. So and I like the flexibility of the spatula. This is my favorite one. So what you're going to do is you can I think you can, when the consistency is right, you can use it also with wood filler. So now I mixed it. I use a small amount. Here's the surface. I roughened and drilled some holes in it. And what I do is just scrape over it. Apply something more. Flatten it. And now you can see the last one was I removed the putty above the surface, and now you can see it's really hard to see here that I just covered the gaps, and when I send them down, it's perfectly flat and even. Unfortunately, I have too much. You also can fill holes when you have to drill holes for your LEDs, for example, like I do when I prepared some prints. Just you can repeat the process until you get the best result out of it, and you're happy with that. It takes a bit of practice, of course, and I would recommend to use support structures to learn these techniques. So now when this putty reacts, you have probably five minutes to use it. Then you just wait the amount of time. I think basically I wait until at least 5 to 6 hours until everything is dry. It really depends on the thickness of the layer. Probably it would the best that you send it the next day. Then it's fully cured and the putty is hardened, and then it's probably ready to sand down and smoothen it out. You can do it on every surface. You can. Do I have some spatulas here? Wait a sec, I will get one. as I mentioned, they come in every size, every shape, and every flexibility. This is a bit harder, but the tip is really good to reach out for hard to reach areas, schwer zu erreichbare Stellen. And then you can carve it out and even take the amount of the putty. No, not the amount. When you put too much putty on it, you can put it away by using it and to remove it. Also, you can use it inside. I printed this whole tube without inner structure or inner support layers, as you might have seen. And this is also, I will use the Dremel tool to flatten it and then put some putty on it and smoothen it out. And I am a fan of muscle power because I have a better feeling, but you can also use delta sanders, orbital sanders, but I like to use my hands because I have more control on the print. And now my favorite thingies are how to reach such difficult edges, or you see the geometrical, I don't know. Detail is here really high, so you have problems to reach out these grooves and to flatten them. On my Doomslayer, I had so many curved details, and that's the reason why I bought my beloved sponges. I just, it depends on the quality of the print I use a 0.12 layer height, and you guys use something like 0.2. And what I love, because this is a one-out, of course. Wait, I have a better one. The flexibility of this material. As you can see, it's really high flexible, and when you force it on the print, it will get the shape of the surface, so you can send everything out really easily. And when it comes, when you use just a normal sanding paper, this surface isn't that flexible. And for more detailed work, I have these so-called contour sponges. As you can see, they they're highly flexible. They bend into every corner, and you can reach every corner with these sponges. Even these small things here. Hope you can see it. It's getting a bit dull. That means it's sanded. I probably use just, it really depends on your prints. As I said, I choose quality over post-processing because I have time. It really depends. So what I basically use is the low grit sponge on the print to remove stairs or here like these like these layers here, it was printed like that, and the nozzle came up here, and when you print flat to the bed, you get such surfaces, and it's really easy to remove. And you can, if you don't get rid of that, you can even use the Dremel to, but I just send it down. Now you see it's perfectly flat, and it's ready to put some spray filler on it. I just use to show you, I will use it. After the stream, I will vent my whole place, and then it's probably okay. Normally you have to shake it 3 minutes. I just want to show you how efficient spray fillers are. Unfortunately, these cans are around about 10 euros. And they're expensive, so it really depends. On flat surface, I wouldn't recommend to use these kind of fillers, but when you have a high geometrical surface like that, it's really hard to apply wood filler everywhere, right? And these are areas for spray fillers, like this one. I will show you I send it down the parallel printed layer here. And that's it. Then you let it dry. I got a sanding booth right to the left of the table, but I just want to show you how easy it is to use spray fillers like that. As I mentioned, the cans are not that cheap. They in Germany, it's about 10 bucks, which is probably $12, but you guys have cheaper, but the same product. I don't know why. And I would recommend just to use it like on surfaces like that to get a good thickness on the print, so the grooves are covered by the spray filler, but not on these surfaces. There I would use something like wood filler, for example. I also use them on these kind of surfaces, but I don't know how many. I think I wasted just 30 bottles of spray filler on my Doomslayer, probably 300 euros, and not everybody can afford these kind of. They are really expensive. Is it dry? No. Okay, I can't show you that, probably. But I would use the next. This is a ultra fine grit, super duper advertised contour sponge. I don't even know which grit it is, but I only use the low grit on the print. When it's dry, I use the high grit on the print, and I sand everything down until I see the print. This is the most important step. Not to you want to just to fill the grooves and not add additional layers to your heights, and then you will probably get some curved surfaces like I saw them on several pictures. When you don't sand the first layer down to the ground and you see the raw print again, then you probably you add multiple layers to the height and you get a curved surface. When everything is sanded down and you see the print with the ultra fine sponge, I normally repeat the whole process, adding some filler, wait until it's dry, and then I try only to sand on the filler. I don't want to see the print again. And then I have a plain and smooth surface. Can I send it here a bit? I don't know. Oh, it's an wait. No. Just here. Oh, can you see it? I don't know because this resolution is not the best one. Come on, lass mich nicht in Stich. Here you can see I filled the grooves and I see the print. So this is basically what I do with the whole print. The last thing I want to mention, and I already forgot, when you use sharp knives, or as you can see, I use a vessel because they're really, really sharp, and you don't want to throw them into your trash can, because when somebody grabs into the trash can or tries to lower it to get even more trash in it, just use your imagination what could happen when the blade is there, just tossed away. So I keep them until I have enough of them. I use a vessel, maybe when I eat a yogurt or something like that, then I will put them in, tape the vessel. I seal the vessel so they can't get out, and then I throw it away, because I also had my experiences when I tossed away a can. The sharp thing ripped right my thumb off, and that's not. It's not good. Okay, then I'm probably at the end of my small workshop. Thank you guys for your attention. And now we're ready for the questions, open discussions, as you like. Are there questions? Fire away! There are no questions. You're welcome, Matt, and I hope you understood my Krautenglish. It's really hard to I have to translate it in my brain. Okay, here's Wise Moments. Can I get the pot? It's called putty, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can get them. It's a car body filler. You can get them everywhere, but I recommend to use it just on deep grooves, not on surface. Where's my mouse? Putty. Yeah, sure. You can use you can get the putty in the US in every repair store, I think. How are you cleaning your prints after sanding before priming or painting? First off, I brush everything off, and then I clean it in the shower with some water. Let it dry, and then it's ready to prime or to paint. Can you use sanding blocks, a piece of wood, for example, to get a better grip by sanding sponges? I tried to use blocks, but believe me, you have a really good grip on these sponges, which I showed you, and the contour sponges are just for the detailed work. Slate V-Lok acetone. I don't recommend using acetone because it's highly flammable. It has a explosion limit. Most people don't even know that there are most vapors of organic solvents are really explosive when mixed with air, and an electric discharge can also be enough. For example, when your rubber soles of the shoes are charged and you try to smooth something out with acetone, you probably are in the range where it can explode. And that's the reason why I don't recommend any acetone, because it's not worth it. Even in our lab, we don't like to use acetone because it's really dangerous. For example, when you use a metal, here's my Trichter. When you use a metal hopper and you pour something like acetone over the metal hopper, this could lead to an explosion, and then the whole liquid will be ignited, and that's the reason why I don't recommend using acetone. What was the name of the tools you used on the Dremel for cutting and grinding? Okay, these from Matt. These are engraving heads, or maybe you search for milling heads for rotary tools. You can buy them on Amazon or in your, I don't know, the US local hardware store, if you can buy them there. I ordered all of them by using Amazon. Asta already mentioned it, milling heads. There are also kits which you can buy. There are several rotary tools in it, but you have to you don't really need all these extra tools, or you just need specific tools like I showed you. And the last thing I didn't show you was I ordered some other knives to clean out bigger surfaces, like my upcoming project, and I also use these are basically wood carving tools which I use. And when your layers are higher, you have higher layers, I also carve them down by scraping the tool over it, and it becomes flat, so you don't need to sand it down. Which method of attaching two pieces of 3D prints do you recommend? Welding, gluing, or PEX dowels? So, Asta, please help me. What are PEX and dowels? It really depends. The safer work is to weld them. They get a really good bond in between. But I don't like you have to destroy the surface because you have to weld something in it. And my personal method is just super glue and activator spray. You also can fill gaps with it because it's really you can use it when there is a line where you glue them together. You can also fill the line with the super glue. Put some Dübel. You can put some glue on it. Use some activator spray. The whole glue will super glue will dry instant, and then you can also carve it away. I'm not a fan of sanding such things down because carving is better than then you can adjust the shape of the when it's a round shape you can't really sand it with a tool. I use carving tools and maybe a sponge because it has the flexibility to remove something on the surface. I have used needle files and dental picks. Needle files and dental picks for what vlog? It's a small stick in between. Victoria Dübel. Okay. For example, it really depends on the prints as well. For blades or katanas, I also saw katanas, or for example, Mjolnir, the Thor's hammer. Then you can use threaded rods, drilling a hole into the handle and in the hammer, and then you can glue it together. You can glue it together, use putty or fiberglass putty. It really depends on the print which thing you're printing. Are there any other questions? Is super glue as strong as welding? It really depends on the surface, on the area of the surface. When you try to glue parts like Ironman parts, I was told that these parts are really thin. Then it's probably better to weld them together because you get a better bond in between. Then you have to use something like putty or wood filler, what you guys like to use, and you have to send it afterwards. Can we see one of your raw prints versus the finished print? Phew. Um, I got one. Hope you can see links und rechts und oben und unten. This is a this was on the back end of my Slayer, but I don't like this kind of shape, so I bought something different. And this is just this. Hope you guys can see it. Come on, get on. And it's really smooth. And I also try to remove as much as I can do, because my prints are with the highest quality as possible. And this was a really good print, so I didn't use a second layer of spray filler. I just used one filler, and it's really smooth. And this is a base print. I would basically put a base coat on it, 2 layers, and then everything is really flat, even, and fine. Yeah, dental picks, sure. I also use them. But when I show you all the tools, I just want to show you some basic tools to get your hobby started. I am a fan of tools. I have dental toothpicks, wood wax carving, spatulas, everything. But this would be too much. I would just to get into your hobby, these are some recommended tools you should have. And if you like tools like I do, like I think everybody does, you can always buy more stuff like dental picks, like you mentioned, or I use also wood carving picks. You can also use your old scalpel blades for you can grind them into shape and use pots putty, but this would be too complicated, and for just a basic how to achieve smooth prints, it would probably be too confusing. But yeah, sure, Vlog. Are there any other questions? Well, Asta, if you have a moment after our workshop, that would be great. Some critique, but we should do it afterwards, if you don't mind. Do you work with ABS? No. Why not? Because working with ABS is really harmful for your health. You have to use proper gear. When you sand these, it's in German it's called Acrylbutylstyrol, acrylic butylene and styrol is carcinogenous, and it will cause cancer. And you have to use a full mask when using ABS, when sanding it. But for me, as a For a hobby, I wouldn't use any ABS because the dust. Well, also the dust of the putty is not good for your health as well. But Styrolin or something it's called, the last one with the S. It's called in German Styrol. It causes cancer and are you mainly using PLA or PLA plus, Adam? I use only PLA plus. I personally love Sunlu PLA plus, but there are more guys and they use other brands as well. But I mostly print with grey PLA plus from Sunlu. Okay, are there any other questions? Styrene, thank you, Vlog. Styrene, yeah. Styrol in German, Styrene, yeah, exactly. You can't handle it in rooms. Bitteschön. Unfortunately, I don't have a good supplier here in Germany, and I'm forced to buy it from Amazon. And one spool is around about 25 euros, which is wait a sec. 25 mal 1,2. I pay $30 per spool. But unfortunately, we don't have here any Sunlu suppliers. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Asta will give me a hint afterwards. I don't know exactly. I just got 2 rolls of white Sunlu PLA plus. Oh, white. Adam, white is probably the worst color for sanding, because you don't see where you have sanded it down and where not. It's really hard to see. And one last thing I didn't mention was when you look over the prints, always have a cold LED light, not these soft lights. You need an LED, cold white LED lamp. It gives you the best contrast as possible. You have to move your prints and see where is the shadow. When you have some shadows on the surface, it's probably a dent or some higher material you have to get rid of. Yeah, freaking expensive. Yeah, Esther, you're probably right. Just $30 for one spool of Sunlu grade PLA plus. I used 34 spools on my Doomslayer. I don't want to know it. $1,400 just for the plastic. I mainly use black PLA. Is that good color to print with? Of course. When black when sanded turn has a decent. It looks dull, and you have You can see it really good. Black is a really good color to use for making props or something like that. I also tried to use GTEC, but we won't get friends because it also was recommended, but I don't like the brand. I never got it running with GTEC PLA. That would be probably a good vlog, a good question to ask at our server, please. Lazy perfectionist, as always. Nice. Okay, I think we're done here. I was really nervous, and I hope you guys enjoyed my Kraut English. Thank you, and if you have questions, feel free to ask on our server. We are always here to help you, to support you, even with other about electronics, and this kind of topic is not my competence, because it's electric demon stuff. Okay, thank you guys for having you here at my small workshop, and we will see. Thanks, brother. After party in the Discord. Yeah, bring some beer. After party. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.